If you're preparing for the upcoming JAMB examination and you're looking for the best way to actually prepare for it, then you've come across the best video for you. I wrote JAMB twice before getting admission. I got a 275 in my first JAMB and then a 344 in my second JAMB. So today I'm going to share with you guys how I prepared, mistakes I've learned, and tips that will help you, prepare adequately for this upcoming JAMB examination. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Faith, and in today's video we're going to be talking about how to adequately prepare for JAMB. So let's get into it. The first thing I'll say is for you to have a goal. You need to have a goal. A goal is something that you want to achieve. It's a desire you're working towards, which brings about determination. And this is very important because it helps you say no to distraction and it pushes you to work. Also, ensure you know the score you need and decide the score you want. This made a huge difference for me when I was preparing for my first and my second JAMB. When I was studying for my first JAMB, in as much as I wanted to get a high score, I was just like, I just want to pass. I didn't even know my cutoff mark when I was writing my first JAMB. So while I was studying for my second JAMB, I made sure, because by then I already knew what the cutoff mark for the course I wanted was, and it was 320. So I was like, the minimum I can get is 320. So I decided to work towards something higher, which was about 330. I was like, 330, I know I've gotten my admission, I won't have to bother. So always make sure that you have a defined goal. Know the minimum score you need, which is your cutoff mark, the cutoff mark for the course you want to study in the university you're applying for, and then decide the score you want. And while doing this, maybe your cutoff mark is 320 and then you decide you want to get a 330, to secure the admission, to make sure that at least merit list, I know my name will be there. Make sure you visualize that goal. Make sure you can visualize it. Break it down. It's like, for me to get a 330, how many marks do I have to get in English? Let me say you're writing English, biology, physics, and chemistry. So now, what marks can I get in these various subjects that will amount to that 330 that I'm working towards? So break it down based on your abilities and your strengths. Share the marks around these 4 subjects so that you know that maybe in biology I need to get a 90 in biology. Then let me say physics I'm not so strong in. I need to get a minimum of 80 to get that mark. You understand? So make sure you write the 4 subjects down and write the scores you want to get in each of them, so you already know in each subject this is the maximum amount of questions I am allowed to fill. I cannot fill more than so amount of questions. When you are studying, you know how you will study. It will really help you because it then makes it more realistic. It makes it possible. So make sure you have a goal. Make sure it's defined. Write it down. Write the subject combination and make sure you write the scores in each one of them that you are working towards, which will amount to that score that you need to get in total. The next thing is to have a strategy, a work plan, a study plan. Like, have a means to achieve that goal, have a means to achieve that desire you have. So now, your strategy, how do I create or make or plan out what I'm going to use, my means? That's my strategy. First of all, you need to tell yourself the truth. Do not lie to yourself. You know your strengths, you know your weaknesses. So make sure, according to your own personal strengths and weaknesses, you know yourself, you know your study patterns, you know your study habits, you know how you've studied before, what works for you and what does not work for you. So you use that in creating your strategy. Get your JAMB syllabus and then write the topics down. In each subject, make sure you write down the topics. Then analyze what you already know and what you don't know, what you need to revise and what is like second nature to you. Because there are some things that you will never forget, even though you will have to revise them. But you know that this one, even if I don't read now, I know things in it. And then once you have no idea on, like you've never even heard of it in your life, the ones that they taught me, but I need to read more. So you share these things out, and then according to your own study habits, you know yourself better. Try different study methods and try your best to cover at least 90%, 80%, 90%, depending on what you want. Just make sure you cover as much as possible of the JAMB syllabus. That should be your strategy. Like study, and then your past questions, you cannot do without it. Now, I want to bring a balance because most people use past questions to take the place of actual studying or learning the learning the topics themselves. Most people use past questions to take that place. No, please don't do that. If you're watching this video in January or early February, you know you have the time to actually learn some topics. You know you have the time. Do not just be saying I will use only past questions. So make sure you do the actual studying. Now when you're creating your study plan or your study timetable, regardless of how you want to study it, just make sure that for each subject, for each topic, when you learn it, you answer questions from that particular topic, the ones that JAMB has brought out in the previous years, and then this should go within a minimum of a 10-year span. So let's say from 2014 to 2024, that should be your main focus. Because when you try to do so much, why I don't advise people to try to do so much is because sometimes it can seem overwhelming and you don't actually make progress. It stops you from even trying. So I would say a 10-year span is good enough. If you have more time after, you can focus, you can go and try other years, but just try your best to cover 10 years. 10 years range is okay for you to cover, and then ensure you study. Now, like I said earlier, the mistake is that some people use past questions to replace the actual study. It doesn't work that way. Your JAMB syllabus, you're studying, doing your practice, actually learning and understanding each topic should constitute about 70% of your study, while past questions should most likely be 30%. And if you've learned anything so far, don't forget to like the video, comment, ask your questions, your confusions, and subscribe to the channel. Also, one other tip I would say is that don't go crazy over getting the right textbooks. Please use what you already have. And in your JAMB syllabus, there will be JAMB recommended textbooks. If it's not there, just search for JAMB recommended textbooks for the subject you're looking for. If you have one of it, it's okay. You don't have to have all of it, because I've seen people go crazy over textbooks. I had like 2 textbooks for each subject. Well, I used the one I understood best. For chemistry now, I had new school chemistry and I had understanding chemistry. I used understanding chemistry mostly. I hardly even used new chemistry because it was easier for me to study with understanding chemistry. That was what I actually understood. Use what you already have. And please don't be looking for any special syllabus. There is no special syllabus. JAMB syllabus is the only syllabus. When you start attempting your past questions more often, you realize that there are some topics that always come out. Like, no matter what happens, you must see at least 1 or 2 questions from that particular topic in JAMB. So you start seeing patterns. You start seeing, okay, repeated questions. That way, it can help you pick out more important topics. But all the topics are important because you don't know what you're going to get. I've seen all this other one. Now, okay, let me say I'm writing on the 18th, and then my friend is going to be writing, let me say, on the 25th or the 27th. So you will now be waiting for me to write and then come and tell you what came out. I've seen cases like this. It's luck if you get the same thing, but most likely you won't even get the same thing. So when people are saying, okay, this one came out mostly in mine, do not just focus on what came out. Yes, just check if you already know it, but then focus on other parts, because most likely one is coming from the other part. And then even if your own comes from the same part, then you already have a base of knowledge. So all this oh, what did you get? You're going to ask everybody that wrote JAMB before, you're asking them questions that came out. In as much as, yes, you can learn from it, and it helps you see, okay, what do I know, what don't I know. Do not rely only on it. Make sure you study. Just read your books, guys. That is the secret. Reading. Read. Now let me break down the study pattern for you. Before you even start studying, make sure that you've attempted a few JAMB past questions. You will start seeing, or you start noticing patterns on how JAMB asks their question. So while you're reading, you already have an idea of, okay, these are the kind of questions that will come out from this topic. It's going to guide you. So past questions is there mostly as a guide. It pushes you to the right path. It's not the way, but it's the means to the way, which is studying. Studying is the way. Past questions are there to guide you even more accurately than your syllabus, because now you know the kind of questions they ask, the way and manner in which they ask questions. I've seen people cram answers, and they get disappointed when they go to write. So please, you don't want to be part of those people. Just ensure that you study, and study well. Try your best to cover the entire syllabus. So always study. Studying is the way. Make sure you accumulate as much knowledge as possible. One tip I'll give you guys is that do not undermine English. Like, see, I don't know why people did not tell me this when I was writing my first JAMB, but do not undermine English. English will shock you. I'm telling you, if you undermine, because I don't think I didn't study for English when I was writing my first JAMB. Like, I didn't even study for it at all. It was like my second lowest. Although I got 60 something in it. Yes, I got like 65 or 66 in English in my first JAMB. See, do not undermine English. I was expecting a 90, minimum of a 90. I thought I only failed 2 questions. It was only 2 questions I was not sure of in my first jam. I was like, I came out so confident after that. And then I got so humbled by the score. So guys, please do not undermine English. For English, I would say just take as many past questions as possible. You also have to go and study the rules of English. But past questions for me, for English, is the best way to study for it. Not just knowing the answer, but knowing why that is the answer. Knowing the rule behind it. Knowing the rules. Like, it was when I was studying, actually studying for my second job, I started knowing rules of sentences, rules of how to place your adjective, rules of how to place your adverbs. You know, all those things, and they're so tricky. English is tricky. It was tricky. In my second jam, I did pretty well in English. I got 77 in English in my second jam. It was actually my lowest still, but you know, I improved. So please guys, do not undermine English. Study English, give time to English. Like, actually give time to English. I don't say give time over your other subjects, but give enough time to actually understand the rules. Learn how to read comprehension fast. Learn how to answer questions properly from comprehension passages. And read your novel. If you don't read that novel, those are free marks, guys. Read the entire novel. Don't just go and take 100 questions on the novel and don't read the novel itself. Read the entire novel and then take the questions that come. Take all the questions, because on JAMB apps you can see up to 100 possible questions on the novel. So make sure you read the entire novel, take the possible questions, because those are free marks. You don't want to go and then novel questions you are even failing now. However, guys, those are easy way to you know, to up your score. So make sure you read your novel, guys. For English, read your novel. Make sure you know how to answer comprehension passages. Make sure you know. See, it needs skill though, guys. I did not know how to do this. You need skill. So make sure you know how to answer your comprehension passages. Antonyms and synonyms, that one is just practice, because you don't even know what. I don't even know how to tell you to start learning words, but just Q&A for that one is the deal. Just bring plenty past questions and answers, and try to, you know, get an idea of the word in its context, in the sentence in which it is used. That will help you for antonyms, synonyms. Then what else is there? Stress. So word stress, emphatic stress, all those ones. Go and learn your sounds, your vowel sounds, consonant sounds. You know, all this constitutes up, you know, English. So guys, please do not undermine English, because English is something that everybody is going to write. That's why I'm taking my time to actually tell you guys this. Do not undermine English. Keep practicing. English is practice. That's all I can tell you guys. Now, one other thing, if you're preparing for JAMB, is you need to encourage yourself, especially for those who are rewriting. There was this thing they did, like in my school, when I was in SS3, because that's when I wrote my first JAMB. They were telling us that the score we get when we're writing that JAMB, that was like the first JAMB, is the best we'll ever get. That because, you know, we're in a school environment, everybody's working towards the same goal. You are in a learning environment, so like distractions are minimized. You know, your parents are pushing you to study, your teachers, your friends, everybody is like study. So you're like, that's the best score you can ever get. That once you graduate and you have to write JAMB again, because of distractions, you will not even be able to get, you know, as much as you did. If you have that mentality right now, you need to break forth. I got a 275 in my first JAMB and I got a 344 in my second, and I was not in school. I mean, I did attend lessons like 3 to 4 times every week from January. I'm saying all this just to say that you can always achieve it. You can always do better. Maybe if you've written JAMB 1-2 years, you're tired and you want to give up on your goal. If it's something that you truly want, please believe that you can do it. Just make sure you do your best. I'm going to bring out more videos regarding JAMB and how to adequately prepare for JAMB in case I've missed anything in this video. So guys, encourage yourself, believe in yourself. Just know that you can do it. Even nobody has encouraged you, I believe you can do it. You need to just focus, know you can do it, and yes, believe that you can do it. So guys, I guess we've come to the end of this video. If you have any questions, put it in the comment sections. I'll reply you or make a video concerning your request. And if you've not yet liked this video, I don't know what you're waiting for. Guys, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you all for watching. Ciao.